Okay, Mom.
Okay, we're back. We're back.
And boy, are we back
Oh, we back.
with the most amazing treats lined up in front of us.
You guys don't even know.
All right, before we get started, real quick, y'all, we are on Patreon. You don't want to miss the Patreon episodes. They're extra triple juicy.
Yes, they are.
All right. So head on over to patreon.com/OkMomPodcast. Please make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. Please make sure that you are subscribed or that you are following and rating us on Spotify and Apple Podcast. You know those numbers mean the world. It's a click of a button for you, but it means everything to us. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok, especially because we introduce lovely bakers on our Instagram. And y'all want to see. You guys want to see this. Okay.
I'm so excited.
So everyone, we have to introduce you to Anam, who is a local baker here. Okay. She lives in the Mississauga area. Mm-hmm. And when we tell you how fantastic this looks, there's no diet today.
The diet is out the window.
Okay. Because when Hina was driving here, I was like, listen, I don't want hearing excuses. All right. So her Instagram handle is Doit. She used to be a baker in Pakistan, and now she has. We are so grateful that she has now moved here because we get to have her goods. Sorry, Pakistanis, but she's ours now. We got to show you this. Oh my god, this cake is crazy. I can't even describe
How do we even show it without dropping it?
Let's try. We're gonna try.
Okay. Protected at all costs.
You guys, look.
How cool is that? Oh my god, the detail, the effort, the work that she put into this cake.
How many times have I told you the talent in our community is unreal?
It's out of control, unreal.
I cannot believe she made this.
If somebody ever told me to even draw a line, I would be like, I don't know how to do that.
Okay, y'all, I'm gonna bring it back for a second.
Stunning.
Me and Hina went to a cake decorating class. And the way that I failed at this cake decorating class.
Well, you did not fail. Okay, you did not fail.
At one point I was sitting there like, whatever. As long as it tastes good. My flowers looked like blobs.
Yeah, but we were starting out, you know, we were like, yeah, because I took a cake class back in the day. I took a cake class back in the day.
I was like, show off. Hers was so good. I was like,
all I gotta say is it was a fun cake class.
And I was amused. She was like, yo, I never seen a hoops like this before.
I was just looking at Aruj like, we're not going to do a cake class again. Is that what you're trying to tell us?
But so this, when I look at this, I can understand the kind of talent you need to have to even attempt to make this.
Yeah, and it's not even just the icing. It's like the detail with the picture.
Look at it's like 3D. She's got the mics.
I know.
She did your fingernails.
She did my nails. Oh my God.
Look at the OK Mom sign. Oh my God. Anam, I don't know how you did this.
Okay, and you know that if she did my nails, that means she had to make a separate icing just for 3 fingertips, guys. 3 fingertips.
This is real love.
This is true love.
If you guys do not follow her, and if you're not ordering from her, I don't know what you're doing.
Okay, here it is. Here it is.
You can do the honors.
Why don't we do it together?
Cake cutting ceremony.
Your hands are so warm. Mine are
freezing.
freezing. What the hell? You don't have iron key coming on you. Guys, this feels very awkward cutting a cake together.
I haven't even done this with my own.
Just do it. I can't do it with you. It's weird. I did not know it was chocolate inside. Oh my God, it looks so good.
I'm
moist. My mouth is watering.
My mouth is watering. Okay, there's just food. You know, we have like 6 cookies to try.
I'm not even joking. That is so
God,
good.
Amazing.
Oh my God, it's so freaking good.
It's not overly sweet. That's what I love. Super decadent.
Oh my God.
Hey, not the jelly cake.
I swear to God, guys, I am not lying. I'm very picky. I'm a very picky girl. I don't know what this is. This like ganache or something.
This is the softest cake I've had.
I know. It is so moist.
Holy.
It's so moist. And it's not a Betty Crocker box, guys.
No. This is not.
I feel like we can tell when it's a Betty Crocker box. She put some real love into that.
This is made from scratch.
Thank you. It's delicious.
It's amazing. Actually, you know what I really like? They do resemble Craig's.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite kind of cookie.
Like really fat.
Chunky.
It's a chubby bear.
Yes.
Okay.
And I also don't like cookies that remind me of like cupcakes or cake pops.
Like cakey cookies.
I like a cookie.
Yeah, I understand.
Let's show you guys.
Guys, these look so delicious. They look so good. There's a bunch of different flavors, and you know the one we're eyeing is pistachio because that's how it is. So it's red velvet, Nutella, pistachio, chocolate chunk, Biscoff, and apple crumble.
Which one? Pistachio, obviously.
Yeah, let's do pistachio, guys. We'll show you a quick. Oh my god, it looks so good.
I love it so much.
It has like the pistachio cream.
That's the part I'm gonna cut.
And it has like big pistachios all over.
Actually,
and that's
you know what?
what
I
I'm
might
here
have to.
for. Okay. That is delicious.
Okay, guys, the true test is I'm gonna dip it.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh my gosh, so good.
That's really good. It's like not overly sweet, which I love. I feel like with other brands, the cookies are so sweet that you can only have like half a cookie, and that's too much. This is so good.
Okay, what's next?
Red velvet.
Okay. Are you a red velvet fan?
I used to like red velvet, but I'm not a huge red velvet girl. What about you?
I loved it before, but then I'm just like, when I found out it's literally just like dyed chocolate
and dye.
cocoa,
Yeah.
I was like, but
Okay, red velvet. Here we go. It's like a basic red velvet cookie.
Is it white chocolate chip?
Yeah.
Let's do Lotus. Biscoff. Okay, everybody knows.
Are you a big Biscoff fan?
I am, but I really, really, really enjoy it in like as a coffee flavor.
Oh.
So I sometimes I'll melt Biscoff and then I add it in like a latte and it's so good.
Damn. I'm not really a huge Biscoff fan.
Yeah?
I'm not.
I feel like you have to get to the middle to get the actual Biscoff filling. There's
you
filling
have
inside.
Like there's like little, I don't know if it's like chips of, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, there's something.
Actually mixed it in.
Apple
Next.
crumble.
I'm excited about this one. I love apple stuff.
I'm gonna get you the apple part.
Yeah, give me the apple part.
Ooh,
Apple and like cinnamony stuff. That's my jam.
this is like fall.
This is my favorite one. Aruja, I love it.
Oh, I love that.
It is literally like an apple fritter. I want another piece. Oh my god, I love this one.
It is like, oh my god, I love that.
This is literally, guys. This is my favorite cookie. I've never in my life had a cookie like this.
It tastes like an apple pie, but in a cookie form.
Oh my god, yeah.
Imagine with ice cream. Oh,
Warmed up. You guys, this is a cookie.
well, this has really good cinnamon. Ooh,
This cookie is my fave.
this is gonna be my
like them.
absolute favorite.
Yeah.
So I am a double, triple chocolate cookie girl.
Okay.
So let's see. Yo, her cookies are so soft, man. Look at the way they're just breaking.
I know, I love that. Thank you.
Oh,
Okay, here we go.
10 out of 10 is my favorite. I don't even need to finish chewing it.
That is like nice and rich.
You guys, go follow her page, show her some love, order some cookies. We're telling you, it's so worth it. Okay. It's not overly sweet. Look at her attention to detail.
Guys, the holidays are coming up. This is the perfect opportunity for that. Valentine's is coming up. Y'all,
New Year's. You know, January is the most depressing month of the year. Buy some cookies. You'll feel much better.
January?
Yeah, there's a day in January that's like the most depressing of the entire year, and it's because it's like it's like the day where the most bills are given out, so a lot of people get depressed because of all the gifts that they bought, and you don't realize how much money you spend. All right, y'all, check her out. Her name is Anam.
We're linking her below.
Doit.ca. You can already see all of the goodies. We're also going to post it on our story so you guys can take a chance to look at her page and her creativity. You guys know we've been talking about supporting our people from day one, especially the ones who are working from home. You guys are so talented, and we really, really hope that we can spread the word and let everybody know that we need to stop ordering from Loblaws
Yes.
because we have much better talent in our own community.
Absolutely. And it's homemade karka khana.
Ha, saaf suthra.
Saaf suthra. You know, you hear all these like horror stories about like fast food restaurants and like God knows what happening where like they're dropping a burger patty on the floor and putting it in your burger.
Did you hear Cheesecake Factory in Yorkdale? It's been, so they called in for like numerous
Did hear about that.
health violations.
Oh
and
my
I think
God.
they've closed the location right now or something. And it's like one of the only locations in Canada, and I don't even want to know what goes down in that kitchen.
You think that's gross? I went to a restaurant once, guys. Like this is like a chain restaurant. Okay. I walk in, I'm sitting there, I'm eating my food. I turn to the right, and you know when you see something in your peripheral vision,
Hi.
It was a mouse. Oh, yes, it was a mouse. I was so disgusted. I got up and I went to the waitress and I was like, listen, a mouse just pretty much ran right behind your legs. And she was freaking out, Bajadi. But it's so disgusting.
It's so disgusting.
It's so disgusting.
I also went to a restaurant. We ate, whatever. It was fine. And I had been like, I didn't realize how bad this was. Okay.
Yeah.
Went to the restaurant. We ate. The food was so mid. So mid. Okay. We walked out there. I was like, man, I hate walking out of a restaurant being like, my bill was so high and the food was just so, ugh.
That
you know what I
is
mean?
the worst.
It's literally the worst feeling ever. Anyways, I get up. We paid. We're about to walk out. And I look at another table there was nobody sitting there. Okay. Unoccupied. There was a cockroach on the table.
Do not do this to me, okay?
In a cockroach, like it was on their table. We got up and I was like, oh my God. And my dad was there. And my dad's like, that's a cockroach. And like, I don't remember the last time I've seen a cockroach in Canada. It's just like not a common bug here.
I cannot.
Yeah, it was really bad.
And you know when there's one cockroachy, there's more than
There's a whole
one.
family. वो तो दीवारों में फिरते हैं.
Ew,
It's disgusting. I get so icked out. And I went on later and I started like Googling this. Like, is this a thing? Have people complained about it? And yeah, multiple complaints about this. So I don't know what's going on.
Shut the front door.
Yeah. So I don't know if people have addressed it, if anybody has said anything. Somebody's TikTok came up, same review. She made a video of it, posted it. Like, I don't even know if it's still there. I should check.
I'm gonna go check. What the hell?
Crazy. So just order from Ghar Ke Khane, okay?
Khane.
That's why our moms always preach that too. Also, if I had baking talent like this, bro, I'd be on Cake Boss. I'd be on Cake Boss.
As you guys know, our question of the weeks are constantly posted on our IG. However, Patreon users get the question earlier. And I also want to say that the Patreon users, the ones that are subscribed on Patreon, we usually end up reading your responses first on our episode. So,
Also, you're OGs, and we appreciate you
major
so
OGs,
much.
we appreciate you guys so much. The question of the week that we had today was, with regards to relationships, this includes rishtas, marriages, heartbreak. When did you know that he or she was not the one?
I have not read the responses, but I got a story.
Okay, go for it.
I was listening to a podcast, a different one.
Okay.
And this is when this ties in very well to knowing when somebody's not the one.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to read it out. You ready?
Do it.
Buckle
Let's
up,
do
baby.
this.
I got married at a very young age. And when I first met my husband, he told me he lived on his own. The detail he left out was that his mom was his neighbor. Backstory, his parents had just separated 2 years before my husband and I met. And the running theme and excuse for her behavior was that she's still sensitive and it was all new for her. There were many red flag moments where my husband would share his location with her when we went out. And if she didn't see our car in the driveway, she'd immediately call him up and start crying. She would get so upset that we just started taking her out with us anywhere we went. During COVID, my husband and I both lost our jobs and couldn't stay in our own place anymore. My mill so graciously decided to let us move in with her. Even though I had my reservations, our circumstances were dire and it was what it was. When we moved in, I tested positive for COVID. It was a very scary time and the illness lingered on for so long. I couldn't seem to be getting better, even weeks after the fact. I needed a break from that living environment, so I decided to go stay at my parents' house for 2 or 3 weeks. I instantly felt better. I kept telling my mom how sick I've been and how my husband and his mom keep blaming COVID. But something doesn't add up. My body was telling me something different. My mom then asked if I was being cautious about the food that I was eating and making sure it's not being cross-contaminated with any allergens I'm not supposed to be having. Another backstory, I have a nut allergy. It irritates my bowels, but it doesn't send me into anaphylactic shock. And then it hit me. There's only one person who cooks in this house. Needless to say, I went back to my Mills house and asked her if she's been avoiding nut oils and using the non-peanut peanut butter that I provided. Turns out she had been grinding nuts in a food processor and adding it to the food. She was using real peanut butter in brownies and giving it to me. When I confronted her, she locked eyes with me and said, "To be honest, I haven't been using anything you brought into my home. I'm not catering to your dietary restrictions." And then proceeded to say, "I'm poisoning you because you took my son away from me." Needless to say, we weren't together anymore, and I hope him and his mom live happily ever after.
What?
poisoning him, and then she admitted
That's
it.
a crime. She could go to jail.
I mean,
She could literally go to jail. She's literally admitting that I'm trying to poison you and cause you bodily harm.
I want to know what this girl went and told her husband. And well, clearly they're not together, so he didn't take her side. He didn't take her side. He probably said, well, it's okay. It's okay. Maybe she thought your allergy wasn't real. You know how they do that? You know how the generation before us thinks like all of these allergies are fake?
What in the world? Okay, do you have to be dead on the floor for them to take it seriously?
Yep. Unless you're carrying around like an EpiPen or you have like a severe allergy.
That is so
Because I feel like they
scary.
don't take gluten allergies seriously. They don't take Okay, first of all, if you're lactose intolerant, it's like a joke in our community because they're like,
gluten is a joke in our community.
yeah,
too.
because they're like, what do you mean you can't have roti or doodh?
Yeah.
What kind of BS? Is
Something
this?
happened to you. You're tainted.
I gave it to you your whole childhood. You were fine.
That's
now you
literally the line.
and then they say now you get married
Oh,
and you have this allergy. all
I'm
of a
getting so triggered. I'm getting so triggered right now. I cannot. I'm getting so freaking triggered right now by this story. I'm
Yo,
getting
and the fact she went back and confronted her mother-in-law, and mother-in-law first was like, yeah, I don't care, I'm not listening to your dietary restrictions, but then said, I've been poisoning you because you took my son away from me. Bro, she brought the son back in the house. They moved in.
Oh my
You want him back in your room?
Oh my God. You know, I know what some people are going to say. They're going to say this story is a lie. They're going to say the story is a lie.
It was on
But
another
you wanna know
podcast,
something,
y'all.
guys? There are people that send us stories that are so wild
Mm-hmm.
that you'd be like, there's no way this could be true.
Mm-hmm.
And it is true. It is true. There are crazy people out there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I bet all of us know somebody who has gone through some wild stuff like that.
Yep.
That's insane. But you want to know something? Kudos to her for leaving.
Yeah.
Kudos to her for leaving.
Because she said that she met him at a very young age. So I know in that moment, sometimes it can be so hard to
Yeah,
leave.
sometimes you're like, this is just how it is.
isolation, and then you're married to someone, and then all of a sudden, if you've been with them for 3-4 years, you're kind of like, okay, this is my life.
Yo, but imagine her mom hadn't even planted that idea in her. She'd still be
Yeah,
getting-
imagine if she didn't even go back to her mom's.
Oh my God.
Bro, she'd be like diarrhea all day. But Johnny.
Wait, but she was getting COVID symptoms. Is diarrhea a symptom of COVID?
Yeah. Diarrhea was a symptom of COVID. Everything was a symptom of COVID.
Everything was a symptom of COVID.
Nausea, vomiting, diarrhea,
Coughing.
coughing, wheezing, sneezing, everything.
Coughing, wheezing, sneezing, everything. COVID.
Make sure to get vaccinated. We need to run an ad for them.
Oh my God. I cannot even
Crazy.
deal.
Oh,
This gave me whiplash, yo. Like,
so
the heck just happened?
it was like, what?
You know when you're like, I'm like still digesting because this is so out
Yeah.
of control. Boggle.
It's crazy. And you know what else is nuts? I feel
it's not.
you can't. Yeah, you can't
God.
take us nowhere, man.
Yeah. Okay.
I just okay. The fact that she said she was processing peanuts into a powder and putting it in the food. She's using nut oils. She's making brownies and using real peanut butter in
So
brownies.
messed up, yo.
Itni veli auntie. Why would you? That's horrible.
She's like a mad scientist. Okay. Up in there grinding them nuts. What in the world?
They're kundi danda.
With her gundi danda. And you're telling me your son did not know? Your husband didn't know?
She didn't know either. Look, because she said they lost their jobs. So everybody was in the home when this was happening.
How does a man not stand up for his wife in a situation like this? Riddle
I mean,
me
he
that.
was clearly attached by the cord.
Oh my God, Arush, this is not okay.
I need an update on him. FYI, the one we're going to read right now is from our Patreon follower.
okay.
Let's go.
He had done some toxic things, but I kept ignoring them and letting them slide because we were teens and didn't know better. There was an important moment in my life where I was being recognized publicly and I had asked him not to miss it. However, he chose to prioritize other plans. He got stuck somewhere and couldn't make it back in time. I was upset because he left while I was already at the event. It was a once in a lifetime moment and he took the risk of not being there. When I expressed my frustration, he became more upset about my reaction rather than acknowledging my feelings. He was more upset that instead of understanding understanding his situation, I was criticizing him for what he had done. He didn't apologize and instead became defensive and shut me down. I eventually gave him a choice: take responsibility and work things out or call it quits. Rather than deciding for himself, he sought advice from others. That's when I realized it was time to end things and we mutually agreed to part.
First of all, why is he gaslighting you?
Yeah, I think when you express to somebody that like, this is so important for me, and they also know.
Of course
like
they know.
Once in a lifetime opportunity, they know for sure.
I've been talking about it.
I've been talking about
I showed
it.
you the outfit I picked out.
Yeah.
You know how hard I worked to get this recognition.
Exactly. And then you're going to do something, whatever it is. If you know that something is special for the person that you're with, really put your effort in to be there. And then you're seeking advice from other people. What's to seek advice about? What is there to seek advice about? Either you're in or you're out. Period.
Also, now you know that if you ever had trouble in the future with this person, that he wouldn't be able to sit there and resolve the issue with you.
And that's the problem.
He's gonna go to his yars. Like, you don't need your yars opinions.
But you know how many times do like we allow that disrespect where we're like, oh no, it's okay, he was busy. But then you're like, I asked you to be at like one thing.
Exactly.
And a lot of the times it's like, you probably don't even ask them all the time to be.
I know.
And then when you do ask, they're just like, oh, sorry. Yeah, I planned this thing in the middle of that. And I thought that I could make it. No, you should have prioritized our relationship. Hello.
Facts. And then all of a sudden you're getting mad at my reaction to you not being there.
Oh my
Of course I'm
God.
gonna react.
Yeah.
You didn't show up to an important moment. I didn't see you in the crowd. You didn't cheer me on. I was getting recognized for like my hard work and my efforts.
Yeah.
And now because I'm upset with you, you're gonna get defensive.
Yeah. And it's just like, what if the roles were reversed? What if you had a really special event and you really wanted me to be there to support you and then I wasn't there? You know what I mean?
Decided to have a girls' night.
Yeah.
फिर क्या होगा?
That is like, that's what I'm thinking about that. Like, oh my God, imagine I did that to somebody.
Exactly.
That is so hurtful.
So hurtful.
Unreal.
When she judged me hard for my profile photo and said I should rethink my life choices if I'm going to be at a club partying all night. My profile photo was my grad photo.
What?
She ain't the one.
She ain't the one. Yeah. She ain't the one. Yeah.
How did she go from your grad photo to like you clubbing?
Yeah. I'm also curious about that. Like, how does that happen?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what it is about some girls, but they tend to, I don't know. I feel like girls just think the worst of guys sometimes. And then you'll see like a nice, decent photo and then you're like, that's still a red flag. What's he actually up to?
Listen, girls and guys, we've all been through a phase where we thought we were like the biggest thug life riders, okay? And we were throwing up signs with our fingers that should not have been thrown up,
Ready?
okay? Yeah, we were, I don't even know what I was about to do with the middle fingers. I'm not gonna do that, okay? We were throwing up signs that should not, we were wearing things that probably should not have been worn.
Some
okay?
Rough Riders shit,
right?
you know?
Like we were singing songs like we lived the hard life, okay? And we all went through a phase. So like don't judge a book by its cover, okay?
Facts.
Inside we're good people.
We just try so hard. Also, we took those pictures in our bedroom webcam. Like, we ain't nowhere. We're putting some special effects on Microsoft Word, trying to like
I should laugh or
make
cry.
it look cool.
I don't know if I should laugh or cry.
Yo, those webcam photos.
Yo, they were so blurry. Okay, this new gen, you guys have it so good.
Your
okay?
your HD quality.
Do you know what we went through?
Even our wedding
Okay?
movies weren't that high
Oh my
definition.
God, okay.
As what's on your phone right
It's
now?
pretty much the equivalent of like you imagine a Skype picture, okay? A picture on Skype. Okay, now take that resolution down like 500 times, okay? So you're seeing fuzz, blur, and little specks and dots everywhere. And you better believe we would sit in front of our computers like... And you better believe we would be posting those pictures up like we were the shit. Okay, like
Also,
it was a
the
beautiful
angles
thing.
of these webcams.
Yes, they're hideous. Hideous.
Either they're down here because nobody had a stand, or it's on top of your computer screen.
And even worse than that is like, why did we allow ourselves to post these pictures thinking they were so amazing?
We used to think we looked so good.
Oh my God, I am so embarrassed.
After we ironed our hair.
Actually
with
think
istri.
that there were times when I would literally get ready just to take a picture on
Facts. 100%. What do you mean there were times? That was the case all the time. If I knew I was going out,
I'm so
either I'm
embarrassed.
coming back and taking webcam photos, or before I go out, I'm taking webcam photos real quick.
The embarrassment is
Saving them
embarrassment.
on my desktop so that when I come back, I can change that profile photo.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay. Oh, this is a good one.
Okay, go.
When he got mad at me for ordering coffee from a male barista.
Huh?
Yo, the men that do things like this, and sometimes even the women that do things like that.
Well, okay, everybody needs to chill out. It's a male barista and he's making my coffee. I would tilima in that situation so hard.
I also want to say, just because he's a male does not mean that every male is going to be attracted to your partner. Okay? People that male barista is probably doing one of these, oh my God, gotta pay my taxes, gotta get this paycheck in. Oh, I hope I leave work early. Here's your coffee. And you're standing there like, don't you dare order from a male barista. In what day and age are we living in, like the Stone Age? Everyone needs to calm down.
This is when you know how insecure somebody can be in a
my God.
relationship where I'm in the Tim Hortons drive-thru and you're having an issue with somebody on the other side. Or I walk into like coffee cultures and I can't order because it's a male barista.
Yeah, can you imagine though that you're married to somebody like this?
Oh my God, I
Okay?
can't.
The sheer anxiety that you would feel if you walk in, okay, and you see a male barista and you're there with your husband and he is just like looking at you like, you gonna order? Because you better not.
So what do? Do I push you forward?
Yeah.
Are
or
you
like-
going to order on my
or
behalf?
Like, let's say you do order and then you come back in the car and he's like, was he a man? What the hell? This is making no sense to me. This is toxic masculinity.
I would just
is toxic masculinity.
I would tilima so bad. So bad. I'd just be like, oh yeah, we brushed hands too.
Oh
We added
my
a little
God.
extra cinnamon in mine.
He
Oh, I left a tip. A big one.
He gave me the tip back.
Got
He
his
gave
number
me an
too.
extra coffee. He said, you can keep that.
And then he made a tiny one for you. For your tiny man ego.
I think that's really unhealthy.
Oh my God. I cannot be around a room full of men who think this way.
I can't either. And I think if you're with somebody who has this personality where for them it's just like, oh, you will never look at a man. You will never order something where a man is serving you. This is so extreme to me. Everyone needs to chill out.
And are you going to be offended by any man in my family now?
Yeah.
I can't go to like a davat either because I have cousins who are male. Like where are we drawing the line? Because
There
I can't
is
order
no
a
line.
coffee. Yeah, I can't order a coffee from somebody who's a male barista. So now I can't go to Eid because, I have male cousins.
Yeah, and it's so odd to me because sometimes you're like, okay, so if anything ever came up, this could be anything. It could be like I have a celebrity crush. It could be like anything, guys. This could cause so much harm and havoc in your relationship. And who wants to deal with that every day? Like, what if you were, normally, do you ever go in and you're like, oh yeah, it's a male barista. Like, oops, I should be a little careful. No, nobody freaking
Never.
thinks that.
Never.
Imagine somebody constantly having to think about that. That's one more thing. I would be so appalled.
I also, it's like, okay, I can't go to Fresh Go anymore because there's like a male cashier. Great.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Pero kiddo.
Yeah,
I'm not going to make you
legit.
nothing. I'm not going to Ridgeway to get you no
Legit.
rolls. But get it yourself.
It's also the same with women. Okay, women that are like, why were you looking at that girl? Why were you doing this? Well, some guys do have wandering eyes. We'll say that. Okay. But I also think sometimes, okay, so there's a lot of like gym TikToks that come up sometimes where it's like a guy will literally be doing his set. Okay. And he'll like just look up and in her video, it will be like he looked her way, but then he just goes back to what he's doing. And sometimes that is what it is. But other people will think, oh my God, no, he's checking me out. It's not always that. It's not
We need
always
to get
that.
out of our heads too.
Yeah, honestly.
And I would just hate being in a relationship where the trust is not there.
And that's what it is. It's an insecurity and trust issue.
Exactly. He insisted for his mom to be over every day for dinner and feed him. We broke up a week later.
That is some real mommy
Every
issues.
single day of the week, and then
Listen.
she has to feed him.
Listen.
I'd be like, मुझे भी दे दो थोड़ा सा. मुझे भी दे.
Listen.
She'll be like, खबरदार मेरे पास आओ.
I have a 4-year-old son, and like a lot of the times, I will say you are able and capable of eating that food. You know what I mean?
Like, my kids will just like, Mama, I can eat it myself.
That's what I'm saying.
They'll do my bestie,
Let's not be that way.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's okay for your mom to like take care of you, that's totally fine.
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
a bit excessive. My God.
Every day of the week.
Ugh.
After witnessing how free he is with the opposite gender, like brother, boundaries.
Okay, some guys are like this.
Yeah, so this is the opposite of the gender thing.
Yeah.
I mean the barista thing. This is
Yeah.
the opposite of that. Some guys
Some guys are free. Free is a word. And it's not free, it's free.
free.
Okay?
Free na ho zyada.
Zyada hi free ho raha hai.
Brother, boundaries.
Brother. Okay, but some
This
guys are
goes-
like that.
But this goes back to one scenario we read where the sister's husband was flirting with the other sister on WhatsApp. Remember that? And we're just like, and even in person, when you get too
can't.
like comfortable or you're getting too close to someone,
You know what? I just think it's more about the guys that are not willing to give away their singlehood. Okay. And they're just so like, I want to be married, but I also want to enjoy that life that I had back in the day where I would go and flirt with other women. Like,
you had your time to shine.
pick your
Lane.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Pick your lane. Yeah. Pick your lane. Either you're married. Okay. Or you're doing the things that you're doing. Okay. It's one of the two. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Okay.
There's a lot of men who just can't. They want to like charo taraf tange udani hai. You know what I mean?
When he lost his temper and I felt fear for the first time. That's so messed up.
Scary.
Because there's a difference between someone losing their temper.
Yep.
And then there's a difference between someone losing their temper and you being genuinely scared. Oh my gosh. That is scary.
That actually scares me.
Yeah. I feel like
gosh.
if somebody really lost their temper on me, like I would be taken aback a lot.
Me too.
Like it would be like, and you know, like it's different when a guy loses his temper.
And-
It's bad when a girl does too.
Yeah.
But like when you're in a relationship and they really lose their temper, then it's like, it is scary.
And if you've never been in that situation, how do you know how you're going to react?
Yeah.
Because you could yell back. That's your defense mechanism. Or what if you don't?
And I
then
think
you
many
tolerate
people
it.
would not.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of people would just be like, oh, I did something wrong. Even though it could be that maybe you didn't even do something wrong. I mean, did you do something that wrong for him to be that mad?
And then what if he just thinks he's done it once and then it's just repetitive behavior? He can do it again and again.
And that's what I think. When you allow it, they do think that they can do it again and again. Oh, that's so scary. When he told my best friend he had a crush on her and forced her not to tell me.
Good day,
Let's go. Let's go.
Good day, sir. You're out.
Sir, you're gone.
This relationship is not happening. Okay. You know how there's like girl code and bro code? Yo, why are we not following this code? You cannot go and then expect my best friend not to tell me?
Preach, sister.
We do not do this.
Sister.
Okay? What if it was the opposite? What if I went and messaged your best friend and I told him that I have a crush on him? Don't tell your bro. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Men would never think that way. Like, what if I actually ended up messaging your best friend? How would you react?
Can I be honest though? How stupid are you? You're telling my best friend, okay? You're like, listen, best friend of the person that I'm with. I really like you, but don't tell her. Oh my God. The Molly pit of that, honestly. Like,
No, but you know what it is? Sometimes some girls,
they wouldn't say.
they wouldn't say.
This one obviously did.
I know. She's a real one.
She's a real one.
But there are some friends, we've talked about it in our friends
Some girls
episode,
wouldn't
in
say.
our cousins
Some girls
episode,
wouldn't. Facts,
where
facts.
there's just some girls who look at you, they're so jealous of what you have. You have this beautiful life, you got this person in your life, your partner, crime, husband,
Yeah.
whoever it's gonna be, okay? And now they see that, and we know slim pickings, and then
Slim.
all of a sudden your man is gonna message her. What if she doesn't tell you? And then she's like, well, you know, maybe I can have a right to this. Maybe I can have her life. Then what? She ain't a real friend.
Then we're getting in the ring and it's ding, ding, ding.
Facts. She ain't a real friend and he ain't your real partner.
That's an immediate good day. That's
Then-
an immediate. There's no ifs, ands, buts. Oh, but I like
No second chances.
No.
Also, call us. We'll egg her house.
Yeah, we will. We love doing things like this. TP, egging. Don't get us arrested. Oh
my
It's
God.
all good.
When every sentence begins with "my ummi says," and then there's 3 million red flags after this.
Oh Lord, we already know that that's a red flag. Okay, your ummi says to stay with her ummi, so you stay with her, so you should. As you
Relo,
should.
relo mixat.
He literally told me it was his parents, sister, friends, and then me in order of importance.
Break down, Hina. Who's first?
his parents,
Okay.
sister,
Okay.
friends, and then me.
दोस्तों को भी पहले रख लिया है.
I'm so against that. I am so against that. Parents, it's like, yeah, you should value your parents. Okay, respect your parents. But beyond, look, I still think when you get married, your priority should be your wife. And your parents, you can still help them. You can still be there and support them. But your priority should be your wife because that's your life partner now. Okay? So like this lineup that he just posted, he's going to be alone forever. Thank God you left him.
Oh my God.
Thank God.
Parents, sisters.
Friend, sister, this is like my dog, the cat, air, grass.
When he went to India to look for a girl while I was still living in his house in America.
Wow. Wow. I don't even have words.
So I've been living in your house. We've been dating for 2 years. And you're just going to head on over to India to go find a girl?
Yo, I can't believe that. I feel like some people are so out of pocket.
Yo, people do this in the Pakistani community too.
I think a lot of people do this in the Desi community in general.
Beshak apni ho,
Yeah.
or even like Goriyan or whatever.
And they go out.
Then they go back to Pakistan. And
you remember we talked about this though? We talked about how guys and girls, sometimes what they'll do is they'll have relationships here, but because their parents don't approve and their parents might tell them to go back home and find like a proper sugar kuri, you know how it is? Then it's like you go back home and you find somebody. But let me just say, just because they're from Pakistan, India does not mean that that's the equivalent of like someone who is
and don't
the
leave
proper girl.
That and ties with the person here. And
Yes.
this is a situation, I can't do it. I'm very sorry I broke your heart. I hope you find someone way better than me because I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah. Is that what she said?
Now I got to go home and marry my cousin.
And that's how it happens.
When he and my friend went behind my back and got married, I found out from someone else.
How does that even happen? How does that happen? How do you do how?
When he and my closest friend went behind my back and got married.
Like they had a court marriage and you never knew and then someone else told you.
I found out from someone else. That's what she wrote.
Oh my God.
Yo, these best friends,
they're not best friends. That's for sure.
they're just
oh my
watching
God.
everyone's relationships, waiting for it to end.
This is out of control.
Or not waiting for it to end and ending
my
it themselves.
Okay. At a Rishta meeting, he brought up pictures on my Facebook of my boyfriend. LOL. Wait, I'm assuming this would be like an ex-boyfriend, right?
Maybe? Or current boyfriend
know
and you're
how to-
still having rishtas around?
If it's your current boyfriend, girl, come on now.
Let's not do that.
Let's not do that, okay?
If you have
But
a
if
current...
it was an ex and let's say you forgot to remove a picture, because sometimes you have so many friends pictures, this picture, that picture. And you know, some girls are not the type of girls that are like, I'm deleting every single thing that I have. Some girls are not like that. And some boys are not like that either. So if you left it and then he's like, here for a rishta, who is this?
I'd be so embarrassed.
Like, so you're stalking my Facebook?
I just like,
you creep?
That's my brother.
Why is he kissing you?
My brother from another mother.
Brother from another mother is the way to say it, girl.
Why is he kissing you?
Oh man.
When I realized that I had to diminish my accomplishments when I was around him. Ooh.
He is not the one.
He is not.
He should be like jumping for joy. He should be applauding you. He should be your biggest champion and vice versa. She should be your biggest champion. If it's not like that and you're like making these big moves in life and they're not supporting you and clapping for you and just like, yay for you, please do not pick that person.
And then, you know, when, for example, let's say you get home from work and you did really well and all of a sudden you had a meeting and they're like, hey, listen, our manager is going to retire. And Hina, you are now in line.
Thank you.
Yeah. We're really excited. We want you to be in some of the manager trainings next week. And, you know, we have to apply. If you'll have to apply for the job, but we're really excited because you're probably going to be you're a high candidate. And now you're home.
Oh my God.
And you feel like, can I share this with him?
I know, or maybe out of excitement, you come and you share and you're like, oh my God, guess what happened? And he's standing there like, okay, that's great. I think I'd start crying.
I would start crying too.
I would start
I would be
crying.
really sad.
And I'd be like, are you serious?
What if he's like, you shouldn't be taking that on. They're going to work you like a dog. You know when they put a little negative Mitch on it?
That is like those nasty friends that when you tell them you've done something to succeed or you tell them an idea, okay? And you're like, oh, this is what I'm thinking of doing. And they sit there and they're like, Yeah, that sounds really out of your league. I don't know. How are you going to manage all of that with your kid? Aruj, how are you going to manage with 3 kids?
How are you gonna manage with your 2 kids?
I've been managing.
Yeah,
okay.
that's right. Facts.
Unbelievable.
You know,
That
it's
makes
not
me
really. I don't think it's gonna be really successful.
And that's when you know it will be.
Yeah, and then they're like, you know, our people, like, we don't really do stuff like that.
Or like, actually my cousin, he was thinking of doing that and then he did it but then he said that he knew someone that did it and they said it was way too hard to do it. So I don't know if you should do it.
And then he said, and then she said, and then they knew someone that knew someone.
See how I'm clenching my fist out of rage?
Yeah, or what if your husband is like, why are you gonna take that manager role? Like, I thought we were gonna have kids. How are you gonna manage the home?
I've been
and
managing
have
it.
this role.
I will do what I need to do.
I'm really sorry. You should never have to diminish your light for somebody else.
Yeah. And then I would say to the husband, listen, if you want me to stay at home, are you going to hold it down then? You don't want me to take the manager position?
Facts.
Or am I going to have to ask you, hey, can I have $10 to buy myself this? Am I going to have to do one of those?
Can I not?
Just not.
And then I can't take the $10 to the barista because he's a male.
OMG.
We all know this is the same guy.
Same banda, same bakwas banda.
Banda ya bandar.
When he said in front of his mom, apni aukat mein raho, to me, saying that while he was waiting for dinner.
Yo, give me my jutti right now. I'll show you whose aukat is where. Hi.
Hi. If there was ever a ha-hi moment, the ha-hi moment was today. It was right now.
Oh God, mero.
Apni aukat mein raho. In front of his mom?
And meanwhile, his mom's doing a little happy dance in the kitchen.
Or she's doing like... Where do you proceed? Do you leave the... Okay, what would you do? What would you do? What would you do? That happens.
What age range of Aruj are we talking about?
Girl, we're talking... Aruj is in her early 30. Okay, she just
30?
hit 30. She hit 30. She hit the 30 mark. Comes into the kitchen, and you're making some handian. And then he's like, he says something. Why did he say this though? When he said in front of his mom, apni aukat mein raho, on me, saying that he couldn't wait for dinner. Oh. So I guess what she was saying is that he was complaining that he can't wait for dinner. And then, oh no, she said to him, you have to wait. I'm making dinner. I'm assuming this. Okay. And he said to her, apni aukat mein raho, or something like that. It doesn't matter why. You said it. Doesn't matter the context. You said it. Who says things like that?
I would just turn the chula off and walk away.
Forget the chula. I would turn the marriage off. The chula is a nothing.
Literally turn the chula off.
Basically like that.
Yeah. Like, turn the chula off. I would probably get in the car and drive off and have the most delicious Wingstop meal by myself.
I would get in the car and cry. I know myself.
I'd probably cry to Wingstop.
Yeah.
Wipe my salty ass tears, okay? Have some Wingstop.
Inside your Wingstop and make it a little bit more soft. Why do I know you were going to start saying that? I freaking knew you were going to sing that.
That's an OG Dolki song. Y'all know. When one day his wife messaged me, don't message my husband. He told me he was getting a divorce.
Ooh. This is wild.
Y'all, what are we doing here, ladies? What are we doing?
Is it the lady's fault? She thought he was getting a divorce.
Okay, they're both at fault.
No, but if she didn't know, let's say he's separated from his wife and he's like, I'm separated from my wife. Then the girl doesn't know unless she knew. That's different.
Yeah.
If she doesn't know and she's literally like, hey, are you single? And he's like, yeah, I'm in the process of getting a divorce. Then she's thinking he's in the process of getting divorced. But then you throw one of those on her.
And the wife messages? Like, stop messaging my husband? Not ex-husband.
But then you should clarify to the wife. You should. Even though, like, I mean, she's right to message too,
obviously.
But like,
I feel like when you look at it from any person's shoes, the husband's in the wrong.
Yeah, the husband is...
Galat ho yaar.
Okay,
the liars?
Okay, lying is a big red flag.
And
lying is a big red flag.
Way too often.
Yeah,
why are we doing this, people?
Lying to me, and you know what? It's not even, they don't always come out with the big lies, Aruj. Sometimes it starts off with the small lies.
Yep.
Like, oh, I'm not going to do this, but then they go and do it, you know? And then you're like, there was no need to lie about that. Why did you feel like you needed to lie about that?
You know what else is a lot of people said to us when they would lie about being out and they'd be like, oh, I'm out with my family, but they're actually out with their friends. That's such a ridiculous lie. Why are we doing that? If that's going to be the foundation of your relationship, how am I going to trust you with anything that you're doing?
Okay, I have to say one of the main foundations is the trust thing. You know what I'm saying? And I think like if you feel, and you can feel it in your gut. If you feel in your gut that he is not honest, then he is not honest.
Talks.
Most of the time.
And then if you catch him in a lie, y'all stop with the chances.
Oh,
This is my thing. If you catch somebody in a lie, friend, sibling, anyone, address it.
I think address it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then if it's like, if it was a little white lie and maybe he was just afraid or something, fine, you can give a benefit of a doubt. But if it's baar ho gaya, har choti si baat mein, and then you know what it is? You tell a lie and then you got to tell 3 million lies just to try and get out of that one lie.
Just to cover it up. And sometimes I feel like people will lie. Like, for example, let's say you said to me, okay, let's say you were the guy and I'm the girl in the relationship. And I say to you, Aruj, listen, I don't like it that you go clubbing all the time. Okay. And you're the type of person that you're like, you don't go there because you need to like check out girls. You just go because it's just like, hey, I'm just going to go have a good time.
Okay.
Let's just say. Okay. Back in the day, a lot of guys used to do this stuff. I don't know what they're doing now. Okay. So you're like, I don't really like it when you go out and you're always partying all the time. Okay. And then this person is like, oh no, or you say, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to hang out with my friends. Okay. And then as a girl, you find out that he actually was doing that. Right. But then he's like, I was going to do it because I was just hanging out with my friends. I'm not doing anything wrong. I just didn't want to hurt your feelings. How do you approach that? Who's in the wrong? He's still in the wrong, in my opinion.
He's still in the wrong. He shouldn't be telling her that he's going to stop doing that.
Thank you.
And then cover it up by, oh, I'm just hanging out with my friends.
Why don't we just be clear and say, listen, I understand.
If you do this every single night, overnight, you're not going to stop going clubbing if 6 of your friends are still going.
It's like if someone tells you, I don't like it if you drink, okay? And you are a drinker, okay? And they're just like, okay, I'll stop. And then they say that, but they actually don't stop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's these small things that you think, and then what do you think? What do you think? You're like, no, he will change for me. He will change for moi.
This is a big problem that we have.
And he will not.
Yeah. Where we're just like, the men are, that we are the ones who are going to change them.
But you want to know something? Listen, I feel so bad sometimes because sometimes when you go through heartbreak, guys, the way it freaking hurts. Okay. Like it's not normal. What was I listening to? Okay. Do you guys know those, the Gottmans? They're these 2 doctors. They're married. Okay. And they basically they're like the love doctors.
Oh, okay.
And they talk about heartbreak and they talk about love and they talk about how important certain things are, like affection and hugs and like finding partners. They talk about all this stuff.
Okay.
I don't know if I heard this from them, but there was something where they said heartbreak actually feels like physical pain. It's pain. Like you don't know what to do sometimes because you're like, where do I go from here? You know, like life sucks.
Aww.
That's a lot of people that go through it. They feel like this is physical pain. I don't want to deal with this. So sometimes it's better to just stay in relationships that are not healthy for you because you'd rather not deal with the physical pain. And that's why a lot of people just deal with the situation.
Yeah.
And then, you know, as desi girls, we're like, we ain't gonna find better. It's the truth.
Or you grew up thinking, it's okay, I'll just have kids. Or I'll have kids. This is what I think. I think a lot of us learned that you get into a relationship, okay, whether you experience that extreme level of happiness with this person or not, that person breaks your heart. That person lies to you. That person's cheating on you. That person's doing all these things that don't align with what you wanted in a partner. But chup chop, you're going to stay in this relationship because hum aur kya kare? Kidhar jaye hum? Okay? Then you end up staying in that relationship because why? We've been told, have kids.
Facts.
Have kids. It'll
change everything.
Yeah.
It will fix it.
He will change.
Once he sees his children, everything will change.
Everything will change. So then you're in this misconstrued reality where you think, hey, I'm just going to have kids with him and it's going to solve all of our problems.
And does it, girl? It never does.
It never does.
It never does. But can I also say that I think in Desi culture, one of the issues that we struggle with when it comes to relationships and why women may struggle, this is not, I don't know for sure, but this is my thought, is that there's a lot of restrictions, okay? Right. In the sense of, look, as a Pakistani Muslim girl, you are not technically allowed to marry outside of your religion or your culture.
Okay.
Right? That's like the baseline. Everybody knows this. Growing up, most parents were like, stay within the culture.
Right.
As an Indian girl, it's pretty much the same thing. Okay. Like, I think with like even religion, like people that are Muslim want you to marry someone that's Muslim.
Right.
People that are Sikh want you to ideally marry another Sikh. If someone that's Hindu wants you to ideally marry another Hindu, right? This is the feeling that I've gotten growing up. Okay. So there are so many things that you have to take into consideration when you find someone. So let's say you find somebody. Let's say as a girl, you find a Muslim guy, a Pakistani Muslim girl finds a Muslim guy. Okay. He's checking off a lot of boxes, maybe not all of them, but you probably don't check off all the boxes too. But when you finally find someone and they're like 50-50, okay, then you're like, oh my God, it took me so long to freaking find someone.
Yeah.
The pond is tiny. I can't go from one pond to a different pond because where I'm going to get annihilated. Okay. So you're also stuck in really weird situations because it's not easy to mesh cultures. It's not.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. And for the people that have done it, wow, more power to you guys because you've broken a lot of barriers, but the vast majority have a very hard time doing that.
Yep.
So that's why you stay.
It's
Another
exactly like
reason.
that Indian matchmaking
Yes.
show where she's like, oh, 70% you have, you're fine. 30% you can sacrifice. 70-30, right? 30% you sacrifice.
She's like, I don't want a guy that's bald. And he's like, okay, this is a guy and he's bald.
But everything else, he's good. He's good.
He's good. Good match.
And you know, a majority of us will just be like, yeah, I guess. Maybe we'll just.
swear.
Yeah. And you're just like, all right, fine. I guess we'll just. Where else are we going to find him?
Rough out there.
I was trying to figure out the next step in my career. He told me that there was no reason for me to further my education and open my own business because it would be too stressful because I'm a woman. So I said bye. I ended up going back to school and finishing my doctorate. I was seeing someone new like for a week. He wanted to hang out at a bar and I told him I couldn't because I had to work on my defense, which was in a few days. He sent me a lengthy text accusing me of being selfish and lying. Boy, bye. Back to back? You had to go through this back to back?
That is, when you go through the back-to-back heartache, the good is about to happen.
It's coming.
Hold on to the hope, okay?
Also, you got your doctorate, girl.
Yeah, that's pretty
hold your head up
amazing.
high.
That's pretty amazing. I don't think that should, I don't think a guy telling you that you shouldn't pursue education or a business is so out of pocket.
Well, because they just had that traditional mentality that they don't need, like, padne ki zarurat nahi hai because you're going to be home.
Yeah, they do have a very traditional mindset, but I just think that decision is ultimately on the girl.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Some girls will get an education and they'll have an amazing career and then they'll say, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Some girls say, no, you know what? I want to pursue it further. That is her decision. Can we stop with this mentality of like always being like, oh my God, can I do this? Can you allow me to do this? Is he asking your permission? I'm genuinely curious. Is the guy also asking your permission to work? No.
To see if he can go up for that promotion?
That's what I'm
see
saying.
if he wants to pursue his master's or his PhD?
Why are we not with people that like, or pursuing people that want us to succeed as well, just as much as we want them to succeed? Maybe that's what's harmful in the relationships that we are, people are in relationships where partners are not pushing each other to be the best versions of themselves.
Right.
And it's more of like a power struggle. It shouldn't have to be that way. It should be a very even playing field where we can support each other's accomplishments.
Because you're
period.
partners at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But it's so hard because it's when you are with somebody whose ego is sky high or who's a narc, what are you supposed to do? Because you have to feed into them. That's what they want.
Yeah, they want you to inflate their ego constantly.
And that you shouldn't be able to do anything without their permission. That's how they hold power in a relationship.
Okay, so what do you do in a situation like that? Let's say you have children and let's real talk, guys, because there's so many people that go through stuff like this. You're in a relationship with someone and you are not happy with them.
Yeah.
Okay. And you have children. So like a lot of us, we would say, stay for the kids. Right?
Yeah.
Which is like a very normal thought process. I don't think there's anything wrong with the thought process. But then it's just like, what do you do? Like, what do you do when you know that person's going to constantly belittle you? What do you think you would do?
I don't know. I feel like after a certain time that becomes who you are.
But is that, like, for me, my thought is just that, is that what you want for the rest of your life? Like if you're not even internally
Sometimes,
like
though, when you're
at
in it,
peace.
I know 100% you're right, but I feel like sometimes when you're in it, you might not even see it,
Yeah, that's true.
right? Because what if somebody isolates you?
Yeah, yeah.
Or what if their thoughts become your thoughts?
That's true. But what if someone is like physically abusive?
Yeah, that's just
I think, okay, see, I can see that happening,
Yeah.
right? But when someone has done something that is genuinely like, you know how there's like black and white, right and wrong.
Yep,
Everybody knows you're not raising hands at people, okay? We all know this. This is not, we all know. But when someone is doing that, even if they're constantly being narcissistic and being like, oh, it wasn't, I didn't, or like gaslight, I didn't do that. It was, you know what I mean? It was an accident. I'm so sorry. I'll never do it again. Blah, 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 blah. It was your fault. It was your, whatever they say. You still know it's wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Eventually at a certain time period, you're like, oh no, sorry. I don't need to have bruises on my face. You know what I mean? I don't need to be like someone's verbal punching bag. You know,
Facts.
like I don't need to do that. Eventually you come to a point where you're like, is this healthy for me?
But we also grew up seeing a lot of this in relationships.
Yeah.
Like, with the generation before us. It was very normal behavior.
Yeah.
And then we were always told that at a certain age it stops because men will grow out of it.
Do you
And
think
that is
they
a
do?
hard reality of our community.
Do you think that they do? I don't think so. I think it would get worse.
I don't know.
I don't, unless someone
I
actually
can't
tries to
say
change.
yes and I can't say no because so many people will be like, oh, my grandpa's like really mellowed out now. You know how they say that?
Yeah, at 85, he's mellow because he knows his deathbed is 2 days away. Come on. Are you serious?
But we grew up thinking that that's the case. You know how you always said, like how a woman in the beginning is like very suppressed or whatever, and then eventually like she gets the crown and she reigns?
Yeah,
It's that same process. Like, okay, stay quiet. You take in the abuse in the beginning. Okay, you have kids, maybe your kids take it too. And then you're like, no, but at a certain age, I will reign and my husband will mellow down because, it's just men. It's how men are. This is how men behave.
I can see that. Yeah.
Behavior is excused so much. And then when you grow up in that home, you think that that's the behavior that's okay. And if you notice it in a relationship that you're in, you might be like, this is normal. This is what I grew up watching. How would you know that it's not normal?
You wouldn't know it's not normal, but I feel like as a child, your perception of a healthy relationship is so skewed.
Yeah.
You completely just missed the point. And,
Yeah.
and it's sad because as a woman, I'm a woman. I say this. I think if you are in an abusive relationship or a relationship that is like very volatile and not healthy, staying for the sake of your kids is the worst thing in the world. Like for me, it's like, but that's what your kids see then.
Yeah.
That's what they see. That when they grow up, they are going to think that's okay.
That's also why this behavior is cyclical, right?
Yeah.
Because people stay and then kids grow up thinking that behavior is okay. And then they seek certain traits in partners that resemble that of what they grew up watching. Okay.
And that's so sad.
And then you end up repeating that behavior when they did not ask a single question about me.
Like the guy never asked.
The guy never asked. He just talked about himself.
Oh God.
My
Ick.
this,
That's
and my
ick.
that.
That's an ick.
my family, my house, my
Or
car.
when they say like, yeah, I have a house in Dubai. And I'm just like, okay, मैंने क्या करना है सर? Come on, that's not a cut. Like, what am I supposed to do with that?
Habibi.
Yeah.
Come
to
to Dubai.
Like, I honestly,
It's such an
That's an
ick.
ick.
Guys,
That's an ick
it's
for
such
me.
an ick. Men, y'all need to stop.
or imagine you're on a first date and he's like, oh, look at my car.
You'd be like, did you see mine?
I would be like, I hope you're showing me like something else because
Yeah.
I don't want to see.
Facts.
I don't want to see.
Oh, my family does it this way. Oh, my family did here. Oh, my family travels 6 times a year.
Oh, you have fun traveling with your family, mister.
I just bought this $60,000 watch.
Okay, when people drop price tags, that is so nasty
It's
to
so
me.
nasty.
That I that's on my list of icks. That's on my list of icks. The dropping of the price tag. Okay. The only time I'll drop a price tag is if a girl comes up to me and she's like, "Oh my God, I love your shirt," and I'll be like, "It's $10. You go get it. I got it from the store. It's on sale. Go get one." That's the only time you drop a price tag. Okay.
Facts, yo. Or I'll be like, y'all, price match. Freshco stuff is on sale. Send those flyers on Flip. That's what I'm doing every day, yo. The excitement I get when I open my Flip app. It's pretty ridiculous, y'all. I'm telling you, I'm an auntie through and through. And I used
She's
to
an
watch my mom with her
auntie.
little glasses, like flipping through all the food basic flyers growing up. She would wait
They did the
for
most.
for it open her mailbox and she'd get all the flyers. And now I wait to open my phone to check on Flip what's on sale.
Sam, girl.
That's what we do.
Damn.
That's what we- He's a great guy, but that spark just wasn't there. I never found him exciting. That's all
Yo.
right. That's all right.
Okay, but this is a real thing, guys. The spark not being there.
Because if he checks off all the quote unquote boxes, the Seema auntie rubric,
man.
okay? Checks this off, checks good, tall, great family, speaks Urdu, Pakistani, lives in Meadowville. Y'all know I'm dropping all this because the Meadowville men.
Oh, I thought you were talking about your own list. I was like, oh,
Nah. I'm talking about all these like Mississauga men, okay? Drives this,
Yeah.
master's here, works at KPMG, accounting firm, da, okay? And you're like, yo, legit, put together, wants to move out, we're good. But then you go out on a date with him, it's literally drywall.
yeah, no, it's a no. The spark has to be there no matter what.
But then you know what's
has
really
to be
hard?
there.
When you have to come back and say no, and then tell your parents, and
It's a
tell
no.
other people that it's a no, and tell him it's a no.
And then you imagine you're like to your parents, Ami, spark नहीं था. हम कॉफी के लिए गए थे मगर वो जो spark होता है ना वो नहीं था.
Mom's like,
And your
what
mom's
is
like,
a spark?
Hell, I don't care. There was no spark when I met your father.
Facts.
The spark happened 20 years later.
बेटा ये सारी चीजें बाद में होती हैं, पहले नहीं होती.
I
आज
disagree.
के बच्चे, यही तो जमाने का जो है ना
Your
खराबी.
mom's gonna be telling your dad like, पता नहीं क्या कह रही थी spark, spurk, पता नहीं क्या कह रही.
आजकल के बच्चे जो है ना इनकी जैसे हाजदी हो गई है. That's what dad would say.
Yeah, or they say like, सर पे चढ़े हुए हैं आजकल.
You what are you gonna go to? Mama chemistry नहीं थी.
Butterflies नहीं, तितलियां नहीं थी मेरे पेट में, तितलियां नहीं थी, okay? वो चली गई थी, वो उड़ के चली गई थी. जब मैंने उसकी शक्ल देखी ना, वो उड़ के चली गई थी.
No, but what if his shakals a 10-10 too?
Yo,
It's just a
and you're telling
spark,
me-
man.
The spark has to be there.
Yeah, like what if he's just a great guy, but
Okay.
you want a bit more of like that funny
I would
banter?
give him the second date because then I'm like, he might have been nervous. After like the second or third time, you know what you need. If that spark is not there, then
I feel like I wouldn't even like after the first date. I'd be like, oh.
everyone has like an inkling.
What if he's sending you text messages and it looks like it's like Chat GPT written?
I swear to God, you know what I
Hello,
would do?
dear Hina ma'am.
I would copy it. I would put it in one of those AI.
How much of this did you write?
Put it in AI. And then I would be like, screenshot, like, this is saying 100%. This is not written by you, brother.
Professor Hina in the house.
I don't know what I would do. But you know what's even more awkward? Let's say you don't feel the spark, but he felt the spark.
Yeah, that's so because how do you break it off? How do you break it off? What do you tell him?
You say, hey,
Okay, listen, this is what you do. You consult ChatGPT. And you're like, listen, there's this man. Okay, we went on a few dates and he's kind of drywall. How do I break up with him? He thinks we had the spark. What do you think the response is?
we should put it in and find
Put it in right now.
Here you go. I'm putting it in. I'm putting it in. Okay. Okay. I met a guy. There is no spark, but he thinks there is a spark.
And then say, technically,
Technically,
he's a 10 out of 10.
he's 10, but I don't feel the spark. How do I end things? What do I say? Chat GPT?
We'll see, y'all. It's creating a response.
It's important to be honest and kind, be clear and direct, show respect, avoid over explaining. Here's an example of what you could say. Take note, ladies, take note. I've enjoyed getting to know you and you're an amazing person, but I'm not feeling the connection. I need to take this further. I think it's best if we don't continue seeing each other romantically. I hope you understand and I wish you the best. Well said.
10 out of
Well
10.
said. And then-
ChatGPT came through.
And then he sends you that essay.
From ChatGPT. He copies and pastes your messages.
Like,
hey,
you waste
listen,
my time.
he said this. What's the response?
Yo, if he is writing essays, girl, what did you do to him?
What if that's just how he is? Like, you know how some people just text weird
Guys that write essays like that,
and they sign off their
that's my
message?
job. That's my job. Okay. I didn't do the essay.
Sincerely. Yours truly.
Never seeing you again.
Kind regards.
Wishing you the worst. All right, guys, that was our episode for today.
It was a fun one.
So good. Thank you all so much for sending in responses. We appreciate it so much. As we've already said to you guys, make sure you guys are subscribed to our Patreon because we release an extra episode every Monday at 7 a.m. Along with our regular episode on Wednesdays at 7 a.m. And of course, make sure you guys are following us on Instagram, TikTok, all of our social media linked below, and give us that 5-star, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye. Okay, Mom.